So as many of you already know by now, Charlie Kirk was doing one of his events at a university in the state of Utah. While he was answering a question, somebody fired shots. They made contact with him in and around the neck area. I'm not going to show any images of this or anything of the sort, but we have just found out that Charlie Kirk has succumbed to his injuries and he has passed away at the age of 31. Now, I personally didn't know Charlie Kirk. I met him once in like 2019, but the guy was 31 years old. He had a wife, he had a kid, or two kids actually, I apologize, and he didn't deserve this. I feel like this should go without saying, but unfortunately, there are folks that are celebrating this at this moment in time, and not only did he not deserve this, because the penalty for speaking your mind about politics should not be death, but his wife, his kids, his family, his friends, they didn't deserve this either, and the idea that anybody would be celebrating at this moment in time genuinely proves that they are much more of a monster than they've imagined Charlie Kirk to be, because Charlie was doing the thing that he loved. He was doing an event where he would talk to and disagree with and debate people. It was something that he was recently parodied for on South Park, which, by the way, Charlie took on the chin, actually celebrated it as a sign that he had made it, and unfortunately his life has been cut too short at this moment in time. Now, again, the information and all that stuff is out there. There was a suspect detained. We don't know if that's actually the gunman or anything of the sort. But right now, I just wanted to say that Charlie contributed a lot to the movement. He worked super hard. He built Turning Point USA from an organization that was teeny tiny into one of the most successful right-wing apparatuses that we have in order to forward conservative goals. He also started up Turning Point Action, which was the political arm, because TPUSA was, of course, the nonprofit. And while you're gonna see a lot of terrible, horrible reaction, you're gonna see the most awful takes, the most disgusting people proving exactly who they are. Today, it's about Charlie Kirk. It's about his family. It's about sending them love and support, because the man was gone too soon. Again, like, I don't know how else to say he didn't deserve this fate. Again, I don't know how else to say how horrible this is, how disgusting this is, how terrifying this is. I mean, I don't do as many live events as the young Mr. Kirk did in his lifetime, but I do these events occasionally. I'm up on stage. There's lax security. This is always a concern that even somebody who is not as popular, not as notable as Kirk, has in the back of their mind. And Charlie Kirk, again, was killed because he was speaking out against what he thought was wrong in the world, something that nobody should have to suffer from, left, right, or center. And the idea that Charlie Kirk was this extremist or this evil person, it's just absurd, it's ridiculous, and this is not how you address disagreements with one another. So yeah, while I give credit to everybody who condemns this wholeheartedly, the fact is, we know that there's a darker side that we're all going to be witnessing on the internet.com. We're all going to have to confront, because many of people think that this is something to jump for joy over or to celebrate, and it's just wrong. It's depraved, it's immoral, and it just goes to show you how far away from what this country should be we've gotten and what Charlie Kirk was actually working towards. Now, I want to share a tweet from Charlie Kirk that he actually posted in April, because it is unfortunately very prophetic for what has happened to him. Assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would at least be somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. 55% said the same about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Mangione. The left has been whipped up into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or court case losses, justifies a maximally violent response. This is a natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. Now look, again, we don't have all the information right now. We don't know who is behind this. This video is not necessarily about pointing fingers, and while it is very likely that the person behind this had a grudge against Charlie Kirk based on his political stances, I need you guys to understand from this side of the camera, from the people who have platforms, that sometimes people that love you are actually more dangerous than those that hate you. So we always, even in moments like this, leave the option open for maybe this was just a fringe obsessed weirdo that actually ultra loved Charlie Kirk to the point where he wanted to harm him. But we all feel and we all understand right now that that is very unlikely, and what is infinitely more likely is that somebody couldn't handle arguing with Charlie Kirk. I mean, again, the man was shot and killed under a banner that said "Prove me wrong," and it is the ultimate statement of weakness and cowardice that this person didn't come up to Charlie Kirk in order to do so. He instead hid in the shadows and decided to fire upon him when he was completely defenseless because he could not prove Charlie wrong. He could not challenge Charlie Kirk in the arena, so he had to try to eliminate him in this way, and it's disgusting in every possible way. Now, I'm sure this won't be the last time I address this situation. Obviously, my thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his family. May he rest in peace. May his legacy continue. Now, that's all I really have for you guys today. I'm not going to do the whole like and subscribe deal. You guys know the drill, but what I will ask you guys is to consider sending some kind words of support to Charlie Kirk's family, to his friends, to those who've lost somebody, to those who cared about him, because in these moments of darkness, we can actually be the light. We can actually stand up for what's right, and we don't have to pollute the discourse anymore with the kind of evil that possibly drove this man to take Charlie Kirk's life. Anyway, that's just my thought. See you later, guys.